Welcome, I'm Ijoma Onyato. Tonight, National Economic Council focuses on preventing flood disasters, also asks states to apply for refund of maintenance carried out on federal roads. Comptroller General of Customs in line of fire as Senate summons Colonel Hamid Ali to explain why he lifted the ban on rice importation without consultation. Chief of Defense Staff says an effective synergy among all security agencies will help the nation surmount the challenges of insecurity. And United States government to extend America's presence in Afghanistan beyond 2016.
On business news tonight, Ghanaian government delegation and the Nigerian government get ready to discuss the drastic gas supply cut threat.
And on sports news tonight, UEFA member associations ignite Michael Platini's bid to become FIFA president despite corruption scandal.
We begin tonight with an explanation required from the Comptroller General of Customs on why he lifted the ban on rice importation through land borders. The Senate summoned Mr. Hamid Ali to clear the air on his decision, which they view as being beyond him, since the order restricting rice importation through land borders was a presidential one issued in 2011. Presenting the motion, Senator Muhammad Alero said the Senate is concerned that the decision by the customs boss will worsen the act of rice smuggling into the country.
The Senate reflects that the large-scale commercial farming has the potential of absorbing and taking care of a large percentage of our country's teeming population of unemployed youth and preserves the scarce resource, the scarce foreign exchange of our country that would have been used to import rice. Informed that the ban on rice import through the land borders has reduced cross-border smuggling. Aware that the Nigerian Customs Service is still lacking the capacity to effectively monitor and control importation of rice through our borders. Recalls that the number of private investors and small-scale farmers who took to rice farming in the last 5 years and who have engendered the rice revolution took to rice farming because of the conducive environment and protective federal government's measures and policies. Worried that the unilateral and unexpected decision of the Comptroller General of Customs to open the country's land borders to rice importation will reverse the tremendous gains recorded in rice production in the country, as it will only halt the rice revolution, but will also discourage further investment in rice farming and agro-allied industries.
The National Economic Council, presided over by Vice President Yemi Oshibajo, has given state governors the assurance that the federal government will reimburse the cash spent on maintaining federal roads across the country. He said all those who followed the right procedures and due process will be refunded. The council also promised states affected by flooding some assistance. The council says that the excess crude account as at October 15th stands at $2.25 billion. On the provision of concessionary loans to the states based on collateralization of the excess crude account, 27 states have made requests for $10 billion facility. The CBN governors was said to have given the council a brief on whether or not the NNPC and other agencies of government like NIMASA should be remitting revenues in Naira.
The CBN governor briefed that 27 states have made requests for the 10 billion facility and is currently being processed. He has called on the affected states to complete all necessary documentations for effective release of the said money for the 27 states. It should be recalled at this point in time that not all states have indicated interest on this ECA collateralized loan. A brief report on the FGN agencies remitting dollar revenues in Naira into the Federation account was also given by the CBN governor. He said investigations are ongoing. Such agencies include but not limited to NNPC, NIMASA, and NPA. the refund of excess expenses incurred on the repair of federal roads by state government. The Vice President also briefed the Council on the details of this, and have said that for all those who had followed the right procedure and due process in incurring expenses, processes are being undertaken at this point in time to ensure that refund for such federal government-based road expenditures by states is being refunded. Also, there was an update on all states that are being affected by flooding. The Vice President also has briefed us and have confirmed that federal government is processing all of such affected states with a view to assisting such states that are affected by flooding.
The 21st Nigerian Economic Summit Group meetings in Abuja have come to a close. For 3 days, participants have discussed different aspects of the theme: tough choices, achieving competitiveness, inclusive growth and sustainability. Discussions wrapped today with the focus on sustainable solutions. Our correspondent Amarachi Ubani reports.
On the plenary were big brains on security, including the National Security Advisor to the President, Major General Babagana Munguno, and the founder, Savannah Center for Diplomacy, Democracy and Development, Professor Ibrahim Gambari, among others.
Let's hold our local government chairman accountable. My question.
Soon, the panelists delve into the plenary on sustainable solutions for peace and threats to human security. They spoke about empowerment needs and the importance of conflict prevention.
It is the government is doing its utmost best to restore security in the northeast region. But after that, what happens to the idle youth? How then do you engage them? Practices that were alien to the northeast, like kidnapping, is a booming business in my local government, because everybody now has a gun and nothing to do. So you dare to go to a village from the cities, you end up being kidnapped. So it is very important for Nigerians to understand that the government can restore security in the northeast region, but all sectors of the country, of the economy, must be involved in rebuilding the northeast region, rebuilding its infrastructure, rebuilding the school system, creating employment opportunities for the youth.
We don't wait until the gun starts, so we have to do prevention, or wait until the guns stop before we do peace building, because peace building strategy means addressing the root causes of conflict, poverty, unemployment, especially among the youth, alienation, rebuilding institutions, promoting good governance, because by doing that, you are doing both prevention so that the guns will not start at all, and we are doing peace consolidation so that those conflicts that appear to have been resolved, like the Niger Delta, do not replace.
Unemployment was identified as a threat to the nation's security, and the panelists agreed that skills development will properly utilize Nigeria's growing population and reduce the tendency to join the insurgency.
The very problems that led to the insurgencies in the first place, injustices around discrimination, youth alienation, and governance issues, if you don't tackle it, and then say you just throw money to them and put them on salaries, we'll be back to business as usual. Everything needs to be done in an integrated framework, not siloed. Oh, youth need training in carpentry, let's do that. That will not solve problems.
I'm canvassing a national peace, stability, and development architecture that will take into account constant monitoring, devising strategies for resource mobilization, and dealing with one of the triggers of human security, which is the youth bulge.
A question and answer session harped on one thing, that there has been enough talk on what needs to be done, and discussions should move forward to measure progress on implementation of decisions for the bright future Nigeria is headed towards.
He dealt with this issue.
Amarachi Ubani, Channels Television News.
Now, tragedy has struck once again in Maiduguri as many people are feared dead following a bomb explosion in a mosque in the Borno state capital. The bomb reportedly went off as worshippers were observing their prayers. According to some residents, the attack was carried out by a suicide bomber. Though emergency and rescue operations are said to be going on at the scene of the blast, the casualty figure is yet to be made known. Tonight's bombing is coming barely 48 hours after a similar incident occurred in Sajiri area of Maiduguri. In part 2, after the break, General Pt.1 visits Chief Obafemi Awolowo's home in Ikenne, Ogun State, calls on Nigerians to support President Buhari. That's in a moment. We join us again.